Okay, here we go. We're going to make panels for our cardigan. We're going to take some waste yarn to start with. Find our black pen to begin. And wrap the waste yarn around the black pen and then weave it over and under the pins for 35 pins, which is 35 stitches. Here's the 35th pin. Open your holder, feed through the yarn, close that, and you want the yarn to wrap underneath the first bump you come to, the red bump. That's it. Now you work backwards. Be sure that the first pin, or the last pin I mean, catches that yarn and work back. Same with the other side. When you come to the first pin, you want the yarn to go under here and get that first bump. And then work back. Be sure it catches that yarn under here. That's how you do panels. You get beautiful edges. Under the last bump. Okay, so we do a couple of rows of this. Sometimes the stitch pops up, push them right down the bottom. Under the red bump, and then back. Make sure that catches. Okay, back to the beginning, and then we change to our first colour. There we go. Open the holder, cut your yarn, take it out and lay it alongside your first pin, drop that. Take your first colour, in this case it's blue. Get the tail, lay it alongside the black pin in the same spot as the tail of the yellow. Reset your counter to 0. And we are looking for 44 rows. Exactly the same way as before. Make sure the yarn's pushed right down. Get to the final pin, let it go under the red bump, and then start cranking back. Make sure the first pin catches the working yarn, then you can go. Last pin, let it go under the next bump, then work back and make sure that catches, and you'll see that is how you make panels. So 44 rows, and I will see you back for the first colour change. Okay, we're at the final row. Cut your yarn, take it out of the holder, drop it down beside the black pin. Take your new colour, put it in the holder and lay it beside the black pin. Reset your counter to 0. And this time we need 6 rows. Doing the edges the same as before. Two, 3, 5, and 6. Cut your yarn. Take your new colour. Okay, so now we're ready for our second colour change. Reset the counter to 0. Put your working yarn in the holder. Lay it alongside the black. And we need 6 rows. Four, 6. Okay, reset your counter. Cut your yarn. Take a third colour. I'm using grey. Same as before, pull your tail through, drop it next to the black pin. And we need 6 rows of this last colour. This is the 5th row. Okay, that's the 6th row. So now we cut our yarn. Remove that tail, drop it down next to the black, and we go back to our blue again for the last part. Put it in the holder, reset your counter. Very important to reset your counter. As long as you keep track of your rows, you can use a phone app or an external counter. As long as you're keeping track. So we need 38 rows of the navy blue. Okay, so that is the 4th row. Continue that until you've done 38 rows, and then I'll meet you back here to show you how to finish off the panel. Okay, so we've done our 38 rows. We now cut our yarn and remove it from the holder. Just drop that, don't worry about your counter. Now we want to go around without any working yarn. All the way around. It releases the stitches off the pin. Take a length of waste yarn, thread it onto the needle. And pick up each stitch of the pin all the way around, like so. This is the bottom of the panel. We will use these to hand knit the ribbing for the bottom later. Keep going around and I'll meet you back here at the end. Okay, so that's the stitches all picked up off the machine. Find the two ends and give them a little bit of a knot together just to keep them intact. And there is our panel. Beautiful colour changes and beautiful edges. Look at those edges. Look at that, lovely. And follow those steps and you will get beautiful edges every single time. Now it's time to finish the panel edges. Now the waste yarn here is the top near the shoulder, and that's what we finish off. So flip it so the waste yarn's facing you and the wrong side up. There's no need to attach any yarn. Take your crochet hook. I'm using a 4.5mm hook. And to finish the edges, put your hook under the first bump of the last row, under the second of the last row, and slip it under the next slip. Don't pull very tightly. If you pull tight after you slip each stitch, the following one will disappear. It's very hard to pick up. So just slip that without pulling all the way along. And so on, until we get to the other end. So you've come to the end. I get to the last stitch. Might be a bit hard to pick up. Then the tail, pull that all the way through. And there's our edge secured. We can now remove the yellow waste yarn. So we can now pull the waste yarn out. This will free all your stitches, nice and secure. And there we have one panel. Okay, so you make the other 3 panels and finish off the ends the same. Pick up the stitches on the last row the same way. Now before we finish properly, we just have to fix up these tails from the colour changes. So to do that, pull very slightly on each colour and then knot them. Don't pull too tightly, just a double knot and trim. So repeat for each. That is our panel complete. Okay, time to do the sleeves. So as before, we find the black pin, take your waste yarn, wrap it around the black pin and weave over, under, over, under each pin. This time we go all the way around. We're working in a tube mode all the way around to the very end. Don't pull it too tightly. Okay, we're at the end. Just before, see with the last pin, the yarn will go over that. Make sure it's under this bump and over that one. Then put it in the holder, close that, and we will go around for about 5 rows. Continue that and I'll see you back after the 5 rows. So we've done our waste yarn. We cut our yarn and remove it from the guide and drop it down. Okay. This time you reset your counter to 0. Your first colour, blue. Put your tail next to the black pin, close, and we need 44 rows. Okay, time for the first colour change for our sleeve. Cut your yarn, remove that from the holder, take your first colour, place the tail in, reset your counter, 4 rows. It's a good idea to tie your ends together before you go right round under the, it's in the same spot. Tie that, otherwise you will end up with big holes Okay. Continue around. Remember, we are doing 4 rows. Okay, so we've done our 4 rows. Cut our yarn. Remove it, place it down next to the black pin and grab your second colour. The same as before. Put your tail next to it. Get it together. Reset your counter. And we need 4 rows of your next colour. And tie these tails together. Don't be afraid to pull a bit tight. Okay, 4 rows. Okay, cut your yarn. Take your third colour. As before, change colour, reset your counter to 0 and 4 rows. Don't forget to knot the ends. Four rows. Use our 4th row, cut our yarn, take your first colour, and your holder, reset your counter, $20 rows this time. Complete your 20 rows. Okay, we've done our 20 rows. Cut our yarn. Remove yarn from the holder. Take our wool needle and waste yarn. First one's already come off. Proceed to pick up all the stitches on the machine all the way around onto the wool needle, onto the waste yarn. same as the body panels. Make your second sleeve and on to pick up the end stitches on that one, and I'll measure you around. Okay, we finished our sleeve. You will have to turn it inside out, and you will need to unknot the ends where the colour joins were, because you have to tighten them up. So undo each knot. Okay, undo each knot. Pull very gently on each colour, not too tight. Re-knot that. Make a double knot and trim. Repeat that with the other colours. And ignore the fact that I've made too many rows here. I'll fix that later. Okay, to finish our sleeve, it's different than the body panels. We need to make the top of the sleeve stretch more, so we have to add yarn, attach that to one of the stitches on the last row. And we want to single crochet. You put your hook under the last row, first stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through. And do not pull very tightly, or these next ones will disappear. And just single crochet in each one all the way across. Using a larger hook. I'm using a 4.5mm hook. Nice and loose. Continue that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we've completed our sleeve. We have the joins all secure. We've ended our top of our sleeve and removed the waste yarn. And there's our sleeve. Repeat with the second sleeve. Okay, we're back. And this time we are going to give this body panels and the sleeve panels a light block. And this is a really good quick way to do it. So I've got the sleeves laid out on a mat, and the underarm, we will be pulling this top corner down more. So we could probably take that down to this mark here. Just around an inch more. Stretch it down. You can probably go further. I'm going to go an extra half. It's very flexible. That's a good edge to do. In through both layers and that down. I will put one more here. One for this side. So this edge can stretch quite a bit. If you want it more, want it longer, go for it. The more room you'll have around your arms, upper arms, it will be more comfortable. And we want this edge to be straight, and this one will taper in just a little bit. Okay, so we'll put a pin here as well. Keep it in line. Make sure it's nice and level. Just keep flattening it with your hand. Now this method probably won't work with wool, natural fibres. I'm using 100% acrylic, and even if you're using really cheap, rough acrylic, this will soften it up and it will be very comfortable and soft. So that is how you do that. Okay, so we'll get our trusty old hairdryer. And I'll switch it on and I'll be hovering like this over the whole surface, and probably a little bit more up this end to keep the shape, to set the shape. Okay, well I can't talk while it's going because it's very loud, so here we go. And that's it. It's very quick to do. To do the second sleeve, lay the second one next to that, but you want to make sure your underarm is on the opposite side this time, and you can lay it on top. Get your pins. Okay, so same as before, take that pin out of the first one and put it straight into the second one, and aim to put it in the same spot. So the second, this time you want this edge to be straight. So just make it straight. Place the pin. When you've done that, you can just remove these. That's completely blocked. So there's no need for water. You don't need to soak it or spray. Just a hairdryer, a hot hairdryer, straight onto the dry acrylic. There's your block sleeve. Now bring this one down. Okay, I'm a bit confused here, so I'll just have to do a quick measure. It doesn't have to be 100% the same, but it will be this, it'll work out good. Okay, yes. Yep. Okay. This one was 7.5. 1/2. That's your half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. At the opening, just move that pen and stretch it down. The heat will set the shape you want. A couple of seconds with the dryer. Okay, this blocked. Here we have a body panel. So what I do is I will just undo this waste yarn. You don't need pins. You just need a hot dryer, and I'll be aiming the dryer towards the edge. I use my hands to unroll it, but the dryer will kind of set the roll flat, so it won't curl right in. You blow it outwards. So here we go. And it makes sanding easier and much neater. So flip it around and we do the other side. Look at that, that's great. I will give it a really quick blast over the top of this channel. That's it. So you do the other 3 panels the same, and we'll get on to seaming up.